Hi everyone, welcome back to Blue Bloom, the space where the ocean finds its voice. I'm your host, Tishya Kumar, and today's episode is more than just the ocean. It's about choosing discomfort and the success that follows when you listen to that instinct before the world tells you who you're supposed to be. Today's guest has lived in the depths of the ocean and under the glare of cinema lights, and he's never stayed where things felt easy. Let's meet Mr. Homi Adajania, a certified CMAS instructor, director, writer, scuba diver, and someone who's seen the ocean change through headlines, but years of living beside it. I've been waiting for this conversation for a long time, so let's dive right in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so before filmmaking and everything that came after, your life looked very different. When you were in your mid 20s, you were in Lakshadweep. But my question to you is what made you walk away from a city without a safety net, as opposed to people who really want to build one?
I think it has a lot to do with your upbringing as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate enough to have a mother who was extremely liberal, didn't force expectations on us,
Mm.
and pretty much the mantra was when you grow up, what do you want to be? You want to be happy, and that should suffice.
Oh,
And I think also every parent has the fear that the kid, I mean, everyone can be as liberal as they want,
yeah,
but there is that fear of the unknown. There is that fear that
absolutely.
your kid won't sort of, I mean, finally, when it comes to it, you want to see your child successful. And as much as you can say success is how happy you are, you do tend to go down the traditional path, especially our parents would.
Yeah.
And But the thing is, I think my mom always let me be who I wanted to be,
Mm,
knowing that if it came down to it, I would land on my feet
absolutely.
and I would find a way to. I'd figure out a way, no matter what happened. So she had that kind of confidence, which gave me the confidence.
Ah.
And in that, I didn't feel that I needed to prove myself to
Mm-hmm.
anyone, and I realized I need to live a life with passion, and that's about it. That for me was what I was chasing.
That's beautiful. I mean, I think my mom has the exact same mentality, like a certain faith in me that I'll do well,
Yeah.
but also allowing me to experiment into what I really want to.
Because I feel that also at a certain you can't, there's no fixed age where you're going to be told, oh, this is when I'll figure out what life's about. I think
Exactly,
the
yeah.
journey goes on and on. I'm still trying to figure out my life. So I think that it's very important to uh, allow uh, I mean, I think your core values have to be solid, and I think
Mm.
that's what you need to realize, that that's what you need in life.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
also you will keep changing as a person. I mean, I can barely recognize the person I was when I was 20 now
Yeah,
when I think about it.
absolutely.
So you will go through phases, and it's important to really, I think, just juice out life in
Mm.
its I mean, make the most of it in that phase you're in,
Yeah,
because what I did between 20 and 30, I wouldn't have had as much fun doing when between 30 and 40, and I would have
absolutely.
not ex- enjoyed that experience between 40 and 50. So it just keeps changing. I mean, the goalpost keeps changing.
Absolutely. So let's say between 20 and 30, you came across diving, scuba diving.
Yeah.
So was there a specific dive or a moment underwater, which is when you realized this is what I want to do? This is not just a hobby for me.
No, I mean, but it was a very bizarre experience because it did
Mm-hmm.
involve a dive,
Okay.
but it was at that time, again, it was a different time. Everyone after college needed to get jobs, and that was
Yeah,
it. Was
yeah.
just given. It was a pretty fixed format.
Hmm.
You sort of got a job, you got married, you got this and that. I did everything the opposite way, but I did want to become I love the ocean. I
Hmm.
love the
Same.
water, and when
Yeah.
I'm in the water, I somehow feel a sense of belonging that I probably don't feel as much when I'm out of the water. But so I wanted to become an oil rig diver. I
Wow.
wanted, and I also, for me, it fit in that whole space of doing a quick stint of a career, because there were these
Oh,
deep
that.
saturation divers who had all
Yeah.
retired by the age of 32, 33, and they were
Wow.
loaded, and they had done this very risky deep saturation diving.
What is that exactly? What is the
So
oil?
deep saturation diving is where
Yeah.
you specialize beyond just commercial diving. I mean, where it's professional diving. It's pretty technical, and then you do one more course, which makes you a deep saturation diver. You can do
Wow.
one in the year or two in the year, depending on the saturation. But you actually go down in a capsule. You live there
Wow.
in the capsule at a very
That is,
insane depth,
yeah.
and you stay there for about 12 days, 14 days. Then you come
Wow.
out, and then you're in a decompression chamber for another 10 days, 14 days. So
Yeah.
pretty much a month you're diving
Wow.
without being
That's
out of it.
beautiful. It's like being an astronaut but underwater.
But underwater, but it's pretty much where these people used to go, which is one of the reasons why I didn't do it finally, was they said that the depths you go to, there's no visibility. It's a lonely
Really?
life. It's a hard life. And
Wow.
sure, you'll make the money, but by the time they reached their 30s, they were pretty much
Yeah, I think it's quite
uh,
mentally taxing.
mentally and physically also. So I think,
Physically as
so
well, yeah.
they had joint issues, and because of the amount of pressure they had endured at that
Yeah.
time. So that sort of put me off it, because most of them said if we had to do it again, we wouldn't.
Okay. Yeah.
So my second, but then I was still. So when I was interested in doing that, I went with a friend of mine to Karanja Island, which is the naval island of just off the gateway of India. You can go from there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a naval island where they do all their activities. And I remember I'd gone with this guy who had a contact in the navy, and they
Mm-hmm.
took us for the first time I ever dived.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was the monsoon. We drove. It was pissing down with rain, and we drove to a well.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even realize it was a well because it was covered with leaves. And till
Mm.
they moved the water, and we realized, oh, it's a
Oh,
deep
wow.
well. And we had a thermocol patch on my back, a cylinder, and I went down with a rope.
Oh my God.
And
That was your first time
the
diving.
first time ever, I didn't know when I'd hit the bottom because I was just barefoot. I didn't have fins,
Oh, wow.
and they just wanted to. I just wanted to feel the sensation of being underwater. And as intimidating as it was, I felt extremely relaxed when I went in.
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything. I couldn't, and they just told me pull the rope twice if you have to come up. If there's something wrong, pull it once if you're okay, or some sign signals they had
Mm-hmm.
given me,
Yeah.
which I've never ever used in my life ever again. But that is where uh, I first went underwater, and I first experienced that, and it was a very alien but familiar. It was an alien ambience that I was put into, but it felt very familiar for me.
Yeah, and speaking of something unfamiliar, actually, is that you train through CMAS, which is a very different system for scuba diving, which is known to be very physically and mentally demanding. So, my question to you is how did that training change the way you approached fear and limits?
I think CMAS was the best thing that happened for us. We didn't have an option.
Okay.
We I trained under I this very good friend of mine who was a mentor of sorts, who actually started the Lakadives, which was who was
Ah,
Prahlad Kakkar.
yeah, I remember. We spoke about
And he had started an outfit in Lakshadweep. He had trained under CMAS. His instructor was from CMAS in Mauritius. So he started the CMAS system. And now when I think about it, I'm so happy that we did do CMAS, because it made us extremely confident divers. I mean,
it.
CMAS is almost like follows French naval rules and
Oh, wow.
other. So the reason why CMAS didn't kick off, I think, for recreational diving in as popular a space as PADI was, because CMAS is extremely difficult,
Hmm.
and recreational divers want their certification in 4 days, and they want to just so, and this is not easy. I remember our 3 star, which is our dive master course in Mauritius, was
Oh,
almost a
wow.
month long, of which 50% of the participants failed. It
Wow.
was that tough.
That is.
So I mean, that's not going to really fly if you want to
Yeah.
commercialize it as a recreational thing.
Yeah,
But
okay.
what it did do for us was it made us very, very confident
Confident, yeah.
divers. It prepped us for pretty much
Anything.
anything.
Yeah, I think that's a really good preparation.
Yeah,
And
and it's taken. I mean, it's held true for all the dives we've done, all the situations we've been in. It's been a incredible journey
yeah, and
with
like
CMAS.
continuing when you started in CMAS in Lakshadweep, you described that the remote island was utopian in a sense.
Mm.
What did living that close to nature day after day change the way you see success or ambition?
Oh, that's quite a complicated question. Yeah. Well, living in nature at that age, I mean, in your 20s, now that I look at it, I think I took quite a bit of it for granted.
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't realize what a privilege it was
Okay.
at that age. Though saying that, because the thing is, we just thought that that was our normal.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
the joy of being, because I love the outdoors, and so just to be there, it was a time when there were no mobile phones. It was a
Oh
time when the
wow.
landline would barely work. I remember one season we were then, this meteor was flying through the air. It's called Halley's Comet,
Hmm.
and it was this big star flying through the air with this red tail behind it, which you could see in that
Oh
Lakshadweep
wow, that's
beautiful sky, because
beautiful.
it was like a
Yeah.
planetarium. And I remember all of us lying there on the eastern side of the beach looking at it and saying, "Shit, do you think it's like a spaceship coming?" And this, and finally, I remember getting in touch with my mom. It was there. It used to come in. It was there for about 4 or 5 days where we saw it. And I remember getting in touch with my mom and saying, "Oh, this is in the sky,"
Yeah.
and which we are seeing every day. And she said, "You idiot! That's Halley's Comet. It's all over the newspapers here in Mumbai." So yeah, we didn't have news. We just pretty much lived with the sunrise and the sunset, and
Wow.
it was incredible.
Yeah, just living in a remote area, it's quite difficult also, right?
It's not difficult. It's not difficult unless you think it's difficult, or you start
Okay.
thinking why it's not easy.
Okay.
I mean, what's difficult is actually how difficult we make it. The joy of waking up at, I mean, with a little bit of bitching and moaning, we'd wake up at 5 in the morning, fill tanks, get ready, then go down to the jetty,
That's
take people
wow.
diving, then come back, and uh, 2 dives in the day. Then you'd be free. Then you'd have watch your. At that time, we used to have VCD movies, which we just have a collection of about 12 of them, which we'll keep regurgitating. There was no
Yeah.
internet,
Yeah.
and in the evenings we'd have theory. I'd teach theory class. We'd hang out on the jetty. People were in touch with people,
Mm-hmm.
which, and no one was sitting on a jetty and scrolling through a phone. And
Yeah.
we would talk about things that would really matter, or things you think about. It was quite beautiful like that. And yeah, there was something in watching every sunset
That's
and not
beautiful.
having to take a picture of it.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very beautiful idea. And you also spoke of how Anita Auntie lived in Mumbai. So how do you think love coexisted with distance, the island and Mumbai pulling you in opposite directions?
I don't think it ever pulled us in opposite directions. I mean, uh, I think finally, why? No, she also I mean, when we were dating each other, she started coming to the islands
Oh wow.
as well. Enjoyed that. I remember after we got married, taking my first son at the age of, I think, 6, 8 months or something. And I remember when these guys went off diving, I would sit with him in the water.
Wow.
I think I forgot him once, and the next time I turned around and caught him, and he was looking up underwater.
Wow.
He's also managed to get quite familiar with the water. So, but no, how it worked was, I think what happens is you realize it. I don't know if it's our nature or what, but the same thing of anything, even if it's the same kind of beautiful, it it becomes monotonous.
Really?
Yeah,
So I feel like the living in Lakshadweep after a point became very normalized for you.
it's too normalized, and then also you feel that, okay, I
You
want
want to
something else.
change.
I
You
want
want
to
to
change.
change.
You grow
Yeah.
through it. I mean, it was fantastic. I
Wow.
mean, it was probably, if I had to like list the top, one of the most beautiful phases of my life, it was then.